Cryptocurrencies have officially entered a bear market, or at least that's what people want you to think. In this video, I want to break down whether or not we are or are not in a bear market, as well as show you a chart you probably haven't seen before that I believe is actually going to give you the answer. I also want to talk about the new ISO implementation because it actually went live today, and a lot of people are wondering, what does this actually have to do with XRP? A lot of people talked about XRP hitting these super high prices as soon as this got implemented. Other people said this has nothing to do with XRP. So the question is what's the truth to all this? What does ISO actually have to do with XRP? In this video, we're going to break that down, so make sure to stick around for this whole thing. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like these videos and subscribe to the channel. Guys, these two things help out the channel so much, so thank you to everyone who takes a second to do it. With that said, though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. I want to start off with the narrative that we are now in a bear market in the cryptocurrency industry, because this is what everyone is screaming. Now, if you're new to crypto, you probably hear about a bear market, and you're like, yeah, the market just goes in these 4-year cycles, and I guess we're in a bear market now. But it's not really that simple. Any actual analysis of the cryptocurrency market would tell you that the 4-year cycles are dead and gone. There's really never been a real 4-year cycle. It's more of mythology. But the other thing that's really incorrect that keeps getting put out there is that because the cryptocurrency market is down, that means we're in a bear market. I can tell you that every single bull market I've been a part of has had huge corrections. And this no doubt is a big correction and it's going to shake people out. But in no sense do I think this is a bear market. Now, obviously I can come up here and just say that, but let's go take a look at some charts to actually say, are we in a bear market or not? Now, I saw this chart the other day, and it's just one of those charts that I saw that I was just like, you know what? This is absolutely excellent. And what this is right here is the total cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin dominance. What this is going to show you is really where the market stands right now. This top chart is the total crypto market outside of Bitcoin. And what you can see is this thing is just ascending up and to the right. Is it going through a correction at the moment? Yeah, you can see that, right? No one's denying that we're in a correction right now. But we're finding support exactly where you would want to find support. And this doesn't scream bear market. Bear market, let me show you what a bear market looks on this chart. Bear market is here. This is a bear market, right? Total collapse all the way down and getting stuck in this pit at the bottom. That is not where we are right now. And in fact, we're bouncing right off this support right here. So that to me tells me that anyone calling for a bear market is just scared, right? They're scared that we will fall through. Now, personally, I don't think we're gonna. I think the fundamentals are way too strong. I think the narratives for crypto are way too good. I think the ETFs are way too powerful. I think there's way too much going on in this industry right now to call this a bear market. But I just want to show you guys something, right? Nothing about this says anything about a bear market. Are we in a correction? Yes. But guess what? We had a correction here. We bounced back. We had a correction here. We bounced back. We had a correction here. We bounced back. Corrections are totally normal. And it's not to tell you that this can't be a bear market, right? Like I tried to make very clear, I said, I don't think we're in a bear market. Could we fall through? Could this be the start? Could people be right? Absolutely, right? I'm not here to say, hey, I looked at this magic chart and I know the answer for you guys. But what I'll tell you is it's certainly too soon to be drawing any actual conclusions, right? It's way too soon to be saying, absolutely, we are in a bear market because nothing is actually showing that we are there yet. The last couple of bear markets we've went through, there has been fundamental catalysts on why we went into that bear market, right? Like FTX and Terra Luna imploding and every cryptocurrency lender going under and the entire industry being overregulated by the SEC. Like those were reasons to be in a bear market. You don't see that right now. All you see right now is price correcting, which, like I just showed, is perfectly normal. So it's so important to abstract what the price is doing away from the fundamentals. The fundamentals are outstandingly positive. Corrections are totally normal. But this correction has not put us in any position where we can say right now definitively, yeah, we are in a bear market. If things keep falling, is there more cause for concern? Absolutely. But what I want to show you guys is we're not at any more concerning level right here than we have been before in the past. As you can see, this is a very common support line. We've hit this a couple of times. You could have said we were in a bear market here. You would have been wrong. You could have said we were in a bear market here. You could have been wrong. You could have said we were in a bear market here. We'll see if they're right or wrong. Personally, I think they're going to be wrong. Now, if you take a look at this chart with the Bitcoin dominance included, it paints an even more interesting picture. Because what you can see is Bitcoin dominance is actually breaking to the downside. Now, this has been part of our thesis for a while. I don't talk about it every video, so the OGs are going to have to say, yeah, he's been talking about Bitcoin dominance. But what you can see is Bitcoin dominance is getting ready to fall off. We had this steady uptrend for a while. These steady uptrends never last, and eventually Bitcoin dominance collapses. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is like 60% of the market. It's not going to stay like that. I don't think Bitcoin's going away, but Bitcoin's not going to make up 60% of the market in the future. Even if Bitcoin was to go to $10 million, right? Bitcoin was $100 million, $10 million in 2035, right? Just random example. I think Bitcoin dominance would still be at 10% because there's going to be so many new interesting projects that suck up so much capital that there's just going to be so much new money added and not all of it's going to go into Bitcoin. So I just don't think there's any way Bitcoin dominance is going to stay at 60%. Just like Amazon doesn't make up 60% of the total market cap of companies in the United States. Amazon makes up a huge chunk. It makes up like 10-15% because it's one of the most important companies in the United States, but it doesn't make up 60%. And I think that's where Bitcoin dominance is going over the long run. But now let's get to the interesting thing. Take a look at what happens the last time Bitcoin dominance fell. You saw actually a correlation where the rest of the market ripped. The rest of the altcoins absolutely took off. And it looks like we're in that same exact point right now. Bitcoin dominance is getting ready to fall, and the altcoin market looks like it's coiled up and ready to spring and blast to the upside. So I just thought this was a really interesting chart. Take a moment, pause the video, screenshot this, do whatever you have to do, and just take a look at this chart. I think it paints a really strong picture, not necessarily, right, that we're right around the corner from a huge altcoin season, right? I don't want to make it necessarily seem like I'm screaming that. But I certainly don't think anyone has met the burden of proof to make the case that we're now in a bear market. Now, we're also seeing some super interesting stuff in regards to altcoins, just to show you that something interesting is happening. We are watching right now that XRP futures, and we're talking about actually buy volume, is coming in and up close to 2,000% over the last couple of days. So a lot of people are betting that XRP will be going higher. And today it's still elevated at plus 600% over the average over the past 24 hours. So guys, there's a lot of indications that are pointing to, even in the charts and more technical world, that we're nowhere near a bear market. And I believe the fundamentals are showing, look, there is absolutely no physical way we can go into a bear market. Could tomorrow MicroStrategy blow up? Could that spiral us? Could tomorrow Trump change his mind and decide that he hates cryptocurrencies? Absolutely, right? Those things would be really negative. It'd probably send us into a bear market. But the fundamentals aren't there right now. And everything we're seeing is completely inside of a normal correction. So it's absolutely nothing that I am even remotely worried about. And for someone who's been here for a very long time, for me, it's like, okay, cheaper XRP, that's great. I think it's going to be much higher in a couple of years from now. So try to separate your emotions from those things. And just remember, the easy thing to do, right, is for me to come on these videos and just scream that we're in a bear market, because that's what everyone thinks. That's what the entire market believes. And people, when they scream those things, they get a lot of views. Trust me, it's how human psychology works. If I went on this video and just talked about all the reasons why the market was going to crash when we were in a bear market, it would do significantly better than me going against the populace, because most people want to believe what the mainstream narrative is. So a lot of people are pushing those agendas online on social media. It gets more clicks. When everyone's scared, they're more likely to interact with scary articles. I just keep it real. I'm giving you guys my honest opinion. I don't think we're there. Now, with all that said, because I ranted way too long about that, I do have to cover the ISO 20022. Mason put out a tweet on this. Honestly, I don't really know what's going on with this guy. It seems like he's really fallen out of the XRP side of the world, but he essentially talks about, and a lot of what he says is true here, right? A lot of what he says is absolutely true. And it's just a good X post to go off of because it really explains some of the narrative. But he said today ISO 20022 did go live. XRP did not even flinch. Why? It's a psychological narrative only. There's no such thing as an ISO 20022 compliant cryptocurrency. It's only a messaging standard. And he said, essentially, imagine a native Chinese speaker. And this is actually a really good analogy right here. He says, imagine a native Chinese speaker and a native Russian speaker, and they both decide to speak English so they can communicate with each other. That's what ISO 20022 does for banks. So he's essentially saying ISO 20022 has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, nothing to do with XRP, and it's really just a messaging standard. And let me say right now, right? He's absolutely correct, but he's missing one important thing in my eyes. Ripple is a regulated entity building compliance software for financial institutions to interact with. And where does all Ripple's payment volume go through? It goes through XRP. So it doesn't matter if XRP is ISO 2002 compliant or not. Ripple has products that are ISO 2002 compatible and now can interact with the international monetary system in a way that wasn't necessarily required before. Ripple's products are in line with XRP in them to absorb and interact with this new standard. And it's so important for that to be the case because if Ripple's products were not ISO compliant, essentially they would be unusable now with this new switch. So it's absolutely a bullish thing. It's absolutely good for XRP. It doesn't necessarily mean that the token itself is ISO compliant, but the token is used within an ISO compliant product. So in my opinion, a lot of people pinch words here and they get really confused. Does that mean that every financial institution tomorrow is going to be using XRP? No, absolutely not. But does it open the door for financial institutions to use XRP in a compliant way? Absolutely. So it's a really good thing. It's super important for XRP and RippleNet over the long run. Is it necessarily an absolutely nothing burger? No, it's really good. It's really important to see these things. Is it something where XRP is going to be $10,000 tomorrow? No, that's not how these things work. So many people look at these things with so many different extremes, right? It has to be one extreme or the other. But really the place in this industry we're right now is we're at the building block stage, right? We're at the stage where they're laying the foundation for the house. You can't show up to the house and you can't sell the house for, right, $10 million yet because it's not built yet. But all of this stuff is the foundation to build that beautiful mansion. And I do believe that this is going to get us there because we're building a super strong foundation, right? We're looking at the foundation right now and there's a whole bunch of cracks and things were falling apart and the builders weren't showing up, right? That would be a different story. But everything is showing that we have this super strong foundation. We have all these high quality players showing up. We have the best builders in the world showing up. We have the best cement. We just have this incredible thing to go with. And all intensive purposes and every look at it makes it seem like it's going to be an absolutely incredible result. And guys, guess what? At the end of the day, that's all we can go off of. Whether you like it or not, we're speculating on future success. And that's what people are scared of and they run away from. But at the end of the day, everything in life is speculation. Whether that's you driving down the road in the morning, whether that's you waking up and your first task of the day, you're ultimately speculating in one way or the other that that decision is the right decision to make at that point. Investing is the same exact way. Whether you're getting a new credit card or you're buying a cryptocurrency, it's speculation. You are speculating on the result of that action. And right now we are speculating on the core of what will ultimately be a brand new financial system. And we're putting our bet where we believe the strongest foundation lies. Sometimes you just have to look at it at its simplest parts. And when you take a zoomed out view and just look at it like that, guys, I don't know if you could find a better place to speculate for this financial transformation that's coming than in XRP. Thank you so much for coming. I hope everyone has a great weekend. And for now, Mickle out.